So ADX is our new feature on the Banker EA, and here's a quick video to show you the principles and again mechanics around how to use it, and a visual mode video showing it in action. So ultimately there's two different ways we've set the EA up to trade using the ADX indicator. So ADX is useful for identifying the strength in a particular trend or movement, finding that bit of impulse, finding that market volatility, finding that movement. And ultimately we can use the EA in two ways. One, to avoid that movement and trade when that movement's not there. And two, just to get in when the market's showing its hand and showing that movement in the market in the direction that it's going, to then bank some profit and some pips along the way. So let me show you some examples on the gold chart. 15-minute, I've basically got on this strategy here, ADX threshold level of 30. So normally anything 25 and less is usually a flat ranging market. Anything you'd say above 30, maybe even above 25, upwards is identifying there's movement here, there's a strong trend in the market. And then we have something called DI plus and DI minus. So when DI plus is above DI minus, it's uptrend, and when DI minus is above DI plus, it's a downtrend. So that bit's not really that important because the EA will work that out anyway. What you're trying to backtest with the EA or set your settings up based around is identifying mainly this threshold level. And if you want to trade with it, i.e. with trend only, or trade while the markets are a bit flat. So there's two really good examples on this chart right now that I'm going to share with you. So example number one is where the ADX is below this threshold level here, look, on my chart. And if we transpose that into the markets above, there's a ranging market pretty much there, yeah? So we could basically set the EA to identify, well, ADX is under 30. I'm okay to buy and sell. But if we break out of that, then just go with the particular direction of the market, much like the EMA function. So here, yeah, ideal market conditions for buys and sells within that range. It's going to capitalize on that. And once we break out here, because ADX goes above 30, shows us that there's this impulse to the upside. We would then just look to execute buys, assuming that the sell positions are managed and they're closed too. Now we can trade this in another way. So let's look at the markets over here. So ultimately there's some big volatility here. ADX peaks here at 65. So if you were to enter a threshold of 60, again, you wouldn't get very many trades, but you would be in the markets at the time where there's some action and things are going on, okay? So we've identified that. Let me draw that up here. So a few things are happening up here, really. So there's big movement in the market. So first, it starts with impulse to the upside. DI plus is above DI minus. So you could get in the market there, in buys, bank, and get out. Market stays in this zone, subject to how these positions were managed. We'd also look to then enter sells because the trend reverses. But the main thing to note here is that this movement is strong, right? Hence why here, this ADX goes as high as 66, 67. So you want to be in that sell trend. You want to be catching that movement on the way down. So we could look at so many different examples with ADX. There's another one over here, look. ADX goes above 30 in this uptrend. Get in that uptrend, enter your lot profit, take profit, however you want to manage the positions, and bank there too. So, there's a bit of a rundown with how ADX can work. What I'm looking at that's working quite well in some early tests right now is identifying the ranging market and using just some lower time frame RSI as well, because within this zone here on the 1 minute time frame, there are going to just be some nice RSI sweet spots once it gets into those zones where it's reversing without little exposure of these big trends and these movements catching you out. So watch the visual mode video that's coming up with the settings and how that's running with ADX. But you can trade it in two ways. One, waiting for the market to be quiet and rangy and not going anywhere. Or two, waiting for the market to show itself on that impulse and getting in and getting out ultimately as fast as you can, but profiting on that impulsive movement. Take a look at the next video, see what you think.